Hi everybody, it is Monday, September 5th. Obviously hasn't been fixed yet, or maybe that's my back. I'm kidding. After these days and days of yard work, I am so shot. It's just crazy. I think today I'm not gonna. I went out and did a little bit this morning, did some watering, but I think I'm gonna lay low today. I've got a busy week ahead, and I need to recoup a little bit. I haven't really taken one day off yet since getting off the road. Just trying to address issues all around the house that need to be taken care of. And in this heat, it is just killer here. And my heart really goes out when I think of people that are out doing paving, road work, hot tarring roofs. I mean, there's so many things much worse than doing yard work in the heat. I've had musicians that have bitched to me over the years, going, "Oh man, about this job," and I go, "Try being doing hot tarring in Atlanta in August. See what that's like. Maybe become a pit welder at General Motors or something like that. Even though most of that's robotic now, there's still people that are really have hard jobs. So don't whine about this stuff." I've really been enjoying just kind of revisiting Lyle, and somebody mentioned, they said, "Oh, you skipped the intro, the band intros." So I'm going to play the band intros, and then I'll see what song comes up after that, and I'll play along. But his band intros, a couple of guys he doesn't do a lot with, but like Luke Bulla, he just introduces Luke Bulla here. But later on in the set, Luke Bulla has a featured spot where Lyle talks to him. Same with Jeff White, where he talks to Jeff, and we do a thing with that Jeff was involved with the Chieftains, the great Chieftains. So even in the band intros, not everybody gets a whole bunch of time, but during the course of the show, they do get introduced, and a couple of people get introduced a couple of times depending on the solos and all that kind of stuff. So here's from this night, the band intros that went on. Here we go.
On piano from Los Angeles, Jim Cox.
Jim did his solo at the end of Memphis from yesterday. It's just incredible. Lyle just stares at him. He can't believe it.
Maestro, that was dreamy. It was your mind and your fingers are sublime. I've never heard you play anything like that ever before. Where did it come from? Please tell us. Hint. I get it. It is, it's a privilege. It's thanks to you folks that all of us get to do what we love to do every day of our lives. We love you more. But it is an extra privilege to be able, for me, to stand on stage with these wonderful musicians. On fiddle from Northport, Washington, Luke Bulla. Playing mandolin and guitar from North Manchester, Indiana, Jeff White. On steel guitar from Nashville, you met him already, Buck Reed. On guitar.
Okay, so that was a quick intro of Buck Reed. He's also, Lyle's a very funny guy, and the dryness of his humor at times. On some of the nights when he would introduce Buck, he would say, "Oh, I had the great pleasure when one of the gigs we got to meet his like junior high school. I think it was one of his teachers. I forget which one. And he says, Buck's real name, it wasn't Buck, it was Richard. And he said, I got to meet his teacher, and I talked to his teacher, and I said, did you have a feeling that he was going to be a musician? And the way Lyle tells it, it's really a great story. And the teacher goes, oh yeah, he says, but he wasn't known as Richard, he was known as Rick. And he said, I gave them a poetry assignment to write, and his poem was, my name is Rick, and I like to pick. He said that really gave me a feeling like where this boy is headed. And they kind of laughed about it, and Lyle said he looked at the teacher and he said, it's a good thing that he wasn't known as Buck then. That's the response. The crowd, you would hear this ooh, go through the crowd. It was a funny moment, and it's just the way Lyle's mind works. I mean, he's an amazing cat. So here we go.
You met him already, James Hara.
I loved working with James. I did Jewel with him. He played with Madonna, all kinds of people.
On trombone, from Muscle Shoals, Alabama, and the Muscle Shoals Horns, Charles Rose.
But Charles would give him like a peace sign and then this, and then he'd go like this, and always Lyle would go,
Charles, you seem a little subdued this evening.
Did you say something?
Charles is a trip. He does all the horn arrangements for the band.
You look great, Charles.
I still can't hear you. This plexiglass, it's hard to hear.
On trumpet from
Some nights
Nashville,
Charles would go on forever.
and the Muscle Shoals Horns, Steve Herman.
You catch what you can each night. They're different every night.
On tenor from Atlanta, originally from Waco, Texas, Mace Hibbert. Now, Mace, it looks like you got a haircut since Sunday.
I did, yeah.
Now, how you got a haircut out here on the road, or did you go home?
No, I got it out on the road.
And how did you, I mean, was it random, or is it a place you'd been to before?
I just looked up haircut,
Yeah.
and it was the closest one to the hotel. And luckily with my hair, you can't really mess it up, so.
You look beautiful as always.
Pretty much a buzz
Thank
cut.
you. I appreciate that. By the way, I have no trouble hearing you at all tonight.
Mace, I asked Mace if he went home, because some of us do go home on days off. Mace has children at home, and you do go home occasionally, don't you?
Yes, usually when we have 2 days off in a row, I'll go home.
Well, I try not to let that happen. Mace has a wonderful tradition. We all do different things that connect us to home, keep us connected to home when we're out on the road. Mace wears socks, every different socks in the evenings and the shows that his daughter Clara picks out for him before the tour ever starts. She lays them on. Mace, will you show us what you're wearing tonight? I got it, but if you would, if you describe them for the folks that maybe couldn't see them.
Well, they're part food socks and part country singer socks because they're Chili Nelson socks.
Every night was something new.
Mace Hibbert. On alto.
Now, the thing that was great with Mace was he's always wanted a basset hound. And I was showing him videos of my guys howling and running around and all that. And when he got home from the tour, he sent me a picture. His wife and the kids bought a basset puppy. And he's been sending me pictures of him sleeping with the dog curled up on top of him. And he is so excited about this, and it's just wonderful. It's so thrilling that they got this puppy, and he's such a good guy. I mean, his family was great, so it's a great bunch of people that we were out with. So here we are now with Brad.
From Denton, Texas, and the University of North Texas, where the rest of the year, the whole year long, he is professor of saxophone. We are just lucky that he's willing to spend his summer vacation with us. On alto, the professor Brad Lely.
Brad's just an amazing cat. I so feel blessed to have really connected with him on tour. I hope we can stay that way.
How many students are in one of your classes typically, Brad?
Well, it depends, but typically, I would say the most I have is probably 10, 12.
That's right. Do they all play at the same time?
No, only when we choose to, but usually not.
Lyle just stares
Well,
at him.
I'd like to learn more.
He's got his timing's like a Jack Benny. You know, it's so funny.
Well, you certainly give me an education every night. Thank
It's
you.
not true. The professor is smooth. Singing with us from Los Angeles, Willie Green Jr.
Willie is the bass singer. He's got a huge range, but all the low notes are Willie.
That was a powerful air kiss, Willie. I felt it. From Oakland, Lamont Van Hook.
And Lamont was out on the last Phil Collins tour with us. He was one of the singers on it. I was
From
thrilled.
Nashville, Jason Eskridge.
Jason's wonderful. I toured with him with Lyle a number of years back.
On bass, a gentleman I've been a fan of since the first time I heard him on recordings. We first worked together in 1988. We've been friends ever since. I never thought I'd ever meet him, much less get to work with him. And all of us in the large band are just thrilled that he's spending his summer with us. On bass, the one and only Leland Sklar.
Talk about Russ. Talk about Russ.
It's a very personal question, but he's asking about your tie, Leland.
I'm the only guy in the band that doesn't wear a
Leland
tie.
has the best tie in the band, if you ask me. Leland, as most of you probably know, Leland has just an incredible YouTube channel, and he's been posting videos every day. I mean, this man is he's a one-man production house. Every day. Did you do a video today of the venue? How, and your clips are unedited, uninterrupted.
Yeah.
How long was today's clip?
It was about
20
20 minutes.
minutes. Oh my goodness.
Whole area, venue, backstage, all the excitement that we go through.
We can't wait to tune in. Yeah. Thank you. Check it out. And how can folks look it up if they want to find you?
Go to YouTube and look up Leland Sklar.
Leland Sklar. On bass, Leland Sklar. On drums, likewise, somebody I've been a fan of since the very first time I heard him on recordings. We first worked together in 1991, and we've been playing together ever since. He's played on every recording I've made since then. His son, Nathaniel, has engineered, recorded, and mixed most of the records I've done over the course of my career. His family is part of my
I
family.
mean, I've known Nate since he was
It is a
born.
privilege to be on the same stage with this gentleman. On drums from Los Angeles, the one and only Russ Kunkel. Russ and Leland, have known each other a while, but in the last couple of years, you all have put a band together with some of your buddies called the Immediate Family. Immediate Family, and I just got a notice about this today. The film, there's a documentary coming out. Do you know when?
It's hard to tell. It's going to be at some film festivals this summer.
Russ is talking.
Watch for, and it talks about your history and all the folks that you played together with, and all of the records that you've played on. Watch for it this next year.
Lyle's really generous with everybody, giving time to everybody.
The Immediate Family.
Later on with Luke and with Jeff, he talks about their records and where they're available.
A few years, there are songs. There's songs that some people just shouldn't sing.
This is the one I did yesterday, so
we're
I'm going
about
to
do a
skip
couple of
along.
those that I shouldn't sing.
Let me
But
see.
Nobody
Oh.
like my baby.
The next song is one of my favorite songs, Nobody Knows Me. This is the end of the duet with Lamont. Songs like this next one are really a challenge because there's no time meter. It just breathes, so it's hard. I'll see how it goes here, but being with Lyle, we can make contact.
We're just a couple of sensitive guys on the road.
See how this goes.
I started. When I first started playing out, I was 18 in the summer of 1976, and a high school buddy of mine and I did some auditions around home and got our first jobs playing for money. We ended up our first gig was at a decent restaurant, place called the Mariner on FM 1960 in Houston. Their secret was they had a small menu, but everything on it was cooked. But they had it was popular, and so they had people would wait in the bar before they got their tables, and they would have somebody play music in the bar. They had for years. They had the same fellow. His name was Juan Villarreal, and Juan was very nice. He was very nice to me. Knew he would learn anything that was a hit on the radio at the moment, and the patrons of the Mariner loved him. They just loved him. And so in the summer of 1976, when he decided that he'd like to take a couple of nights off a week to spend more time with his family that summer, there were customers not happy about it. And so my buddy Bruce and I, by contrast, didn't know any songs that were on the radio. But we got to play, and we made $50 a night each, and which was great. And we realized that we may have made a wrong choice when it was a really busy Saturday night, and the manager, the person that had hired us, that we felt we owed a lot to, came up to us and said, fellas, we're really busy tonight, and a couple of our relief waiters didn't show up. Would you mind putting on these aprons and helping us out on the floor? And I said no. I mean, we were happy to do it. And so it was an interesting place where everybody, all the different waiters waited on. Nobody had a specific section. Everybody waited on everybody, and there was a tip pool system. So Bruce and I were terrible waiters. We were terrible, but we each made $150 that night. Because of the tip pool system. I kept my apron.
like cream in my coffee. I like to sleep late on Sunday, and nobody knows me like my baby. And I like eggs over easy with flour tortillas, and nobody knows me like my baby. And nobody holds me, and nobody knows me. Nobody knows me like my baby. But it was a dream made to order, south of the border, and nobody knows me like my baby. And she cried, man, how could you do? And I swore that there weren't nothing to it. But nobody knows me like my baby. And nobody holds me, and nobody knows me. Nobody knows me like my baby. And I like cream in my coffee, and I hate to be alone on Sunday, and nobody knows me like my baby.
Those are the hardest songs to do when you're not together because we're just breathing like an organism. It's,
She's the queen of no.
this is a funny song. This is the Queen of No, K-N-O-W.
She's the queen of no.
It's Lyle, Jeff, and Luke singing. This is stripped down. The rest of the band's pretty much gone. Russ and Jim's.
No, thank you. I couldn't. I really don't think so. Not ever. Because she could find the square root of a billion bugs that could kill you. Believe me, it's all in her mind. tarnished, my throne may be threadbare, my robe may be tattered and torn, but her crown is shining and blindingly guiding me into her embrace thing on. She's the queen of gold, K-N-O-W-I-M-E. Wherever I go, she knows what I need. Through sunshine and snow, she understands. She's the queen of knowing. I'm her loving man. She's the queen of gold, K-N-O-W-I-M-E. Wherever I go, she knows what I need. Through sunshine and snow, she understands. She's the queen of knowing. I'm her loving man. She's the queen of knowing.
Buck Reed on this too. I met Jeff White in 2002.
I'll continue with this one tomorrow. This is about the chieftains. It's a little clam in the middle of that. Not so much a clam, but it's called Her Loving Man. It was a song. And in the middle where there's the solo, our downbeat is different every night. It's all based on Lyle's gestures. And without being able to see him, I had to just guess, and it was a hair off. But the variety of material in his show is so amazing, from absolute intimacy to just Texas swing and all of it, and just it really puts the band to work, and which is a joyous experience to have, that kind of material and breadth to draw from. So that's it. I think that's enough for today. I'll just continue through the week and finish up his show, and because it's fun to be playing it again anyhow. It'll be more fun. This is the kind of stuff I still run Phil Collins shows, but it's much easier when I put in my Tascam, or is it Tascam or TIAC? What the hell is that unit? Hold on. Oh, Tascam. It is a Tascam. My portable trainer. When I plug that in to the thing and put my headphones on, then I'm in the mix. Then I can play like I was playing the show. It feels natural. Or here with my amp and the little speaker here, doing this other example is a little bit more, it's a little more difficult to lock in. It's just a bit more of a tutorial than a performance. So, so I'm going to get going. I'm going to avoid being out as much as I possibly can today, because it really is bleak out there. And but I'm going to wish everybody a great day. I've had a couple of funny stories I was going to tell, but it's a long video, so I'll save those for another time this week. And looking forward to our clubhouse finally kicking off again this coming Wednesday, so I'm excited about that. I contacted Aaron, and he's sending out notifications, and then heading up to Oregon for the weekend to do a one-off up there with my Steve Postel and all of our buds. It's going to be it has nothing to do with the immediate family. This is a whole other thing, but it's, I think, a private function. So I'm looking forward to that, and just lots going on here. But I think I'm going to go just sit and watch TV with the puppies now, and it's so much fun. Boy, I get on the chair, and they just climb on top, and they are out like lights, and I am just there barely breathing underneath the weight of these two big hound dogs. So I love it. So take good care, have a great day, and I will be back tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.